more and more players streaming into the event area with the big screen that want to watch their friends in the top 8. Who's actually your favorite in this top 8? Like just by looking at the archetypes.
Well, by looking at the archetype and also by looking at the guys in the chat, apparently Mr. Patrick Dickman seems to be a master at playing Splinter Twin. So I think he knows how to handle this. He's gonna play the Splinter Twin mirror, but I'm sure he has a plan because his brother, his twin brother is also playing Splinter Twin, so they certainly did test the mirror match.
It's destiny, right?
Yeah.
Twins playing Splinter Twin. We see Alexandre Bonneau mulligan in number 5 already. In the meanwhile, I'll take a guess. I'll go for Nazar Sotiriadi because he is playing Junt. And I know that if he manages to win the top 8, everyone's going to be like, oh, Junt won again, obviously. But it wasn't ever obvious during this tournament. There weren't that many Junt decks at the top of the standings throughout the whole tournament. And the deck hasn't performed as well.
No, just one copy in the top 8 and another one just outside in 9th place. Till Rifford was also playing Junt. But yeah, it's not been performing. I don't really know why. Maybe people were expecting it and they were ready for it. Red-Green Tron is a pretty bad matchup for Junt. It seems like people found an answer.
Yeah. Just so to give you an update, we have intensely covered Patrick Dickman's match for top 8, and we said, oh, why did Till Rifford draw with his opponent there? Apparently, I talked to Till, and what happened was that he lost game 1 in a super quick fashion, and the opponent wanted to draw because he was hungry. And Till Rifford has no sideboard cards against graveyard-based decks, so he took the risk being down a game. He didn't think he would be able to win 2 more matches, so 2 more games, so he took the draw, and you see there's a big crowd there. Fabrizio Anteri starts off with the Urza's power plant into Chromatic Star, draws Urza's Tower. Now Sylvan's crying for Urza's Mine, so he's going to be able to play turn 3 Karn, which he has in his hand. So there's the Urza's Mine.
It's quite good.
It's the best draw.
Pretty good draw there, yeah. Drew the tower of the Chromatic Star, then now able to search the other Tron land off with Sylvan's Crying. Turn 3 Karn on the play. Wow.
Yep. Let's see if Alexandre Bonneau can do something about this. Cycle the Monster's Carbide. Has a Fulminator Mage in his hand, but it might just be too slow. Maybe he's digging for maybe a Simian Spirit Guide.
Yes, Simian Spirit Guide would allow him to play turn 2 Fulminator Mage, but draws a living end.
Yeah, it's the worst card to draw. Yeah, passes the turn. And here comes Karn. Silver Golem, 7 mana Planeswalker.
On turn 3.
On turn 3. And yeah, immediately exiles the Copperline Gorge there, just to slow down Alexandre Bonneau significantly. But now Fabrizio will now have a change of pace.
Although Alexander is not out of this game yet. Fabrizio cannot keep on destroying these lands. He needs to wait a turn because otherwise his Karn would die. And if Alexander gets to the point where he can start destroying one of these Tron lands and then living end everything back into play, this game isn't over yet.
Yeah, exile card. Yeah, here's my living end. I don't have any uses for it whatsoever. Now Fabrizio can unload with these Chromatic Stars and Spheres. So yeah, first starts off with giving Alexandre Bonneau a life and going for Ancient Stirrings. Living Stone, Chromatic Star, and Mine or a Power Plant. So not much going on there. He has to decide what he wants to do here. He has a Sphere and a Star in his hand, so he can start cycling through cards relatively quickly here. Basically just wants to draw maybe Expedition Map to go for the Eye of Ugin.
Yeah, and he might need an extra tutor as well against the Fulminator Mage from Alexandre Bonneau.
Yeah, he takes the Chromatic Star, so he wants to start drawing. He will be able to cycle through a fair amount of these. Here comes Chromatic Star, 2 mana in mana pool. Sacrifices it to get green. Sylvan scrying, yeah, that's good news for the green mana. He can go for the Eye of Ugin.
Yeah, but I think he will wait. He knows that the Living End do play for Fulminator Mages, so I think he will just wait till Alexander fires off the first Fulminator Mage.
Yeah, so plays the Chromatic Sphere, draws into a Pyroclasm, then plays another Chromatic Star, sacrifices that one to draw a card, and has another Ancient Steering. So I think when he cycled through, when you use these stars, you always change colorless mana into green, just in case you draw something like Ancient Steering. So all this does Oblivion Stone versus Mine, Expedition Map, Wormcoil Engine. So definitely has some cards to choose from.
And this shows how consistent this red-green Tron deck is. It plays 8 stars and 4 stars, 4 sphere. So it does cycle through a lot of cards. The stars and the sphere allow for a turn 2 Sylvan Scrying off 2 Urza lands, as we saw here. It's just very powerful, and
still has extra scryings to get to some other cards, like an Eye of Ugin. Yep. So that's also a land. Makes your Eldrazi cheaper, but more importantly, it allows you to search your library for colorless creatures such as Wormcoil Engine or Ulamog. You know he doesn't run an Emrakul in his main deck. And now he passes the turn. That was a very good turn for him. Drawing some extra cards, seeing a lot of cards in library, not achieving much on the board, but setting up his hand nicely for the following turns. Even though we know Alexandre Bonneau has a Fulminator Mage in his hand.
The problem is if Alexandre Bonneau goes for the Fulminator Mage, then the Karn is still a huge problem there.
No third land though for Alexandre Bonneau, so no Fulminator Mage, no nothing, and now we will see maybe an Eye of Ugin searching out for the Ulamog, or maybe a Wormcoil Engine being played already.
Here we got the big problem for Alexandre Bonneau. Karn liberated on turn 3 is ripping his board apart. He cannot even fetch for any lands because he will lose the land he searches out. So,
yep. So takes him up to cards. Yeah, Demonic Dread gets put on under Karn liberated. Another Grove for Fabrizio, and so he just goes for the Wormcoil Engine, trying to finish off the game as soon as possible. Also another Expedition Map. So now if Alexandre actually even draws the Fulminator Mage, Fabrizio can search out for a replacement land. Even though Eye of Ugin is not replaceable immediately, at least. He needs to find a way to shuffle the graveyard into library with Ulamog, for example. Alexandre Bonneau goes and searches his library for a Stomping Ground, so that he gets to cycle the Deadshot Minotaur. And he might fire off a Violent Outburst.
yeah, if he finds another land, then he can fire off a Violent Outburst, get rid of the Wormcoil, although Fabrizio would still get 2/3/3 tokens. But if he doesn't find it now, then Fabrizio will just destroy the Stomping Ground, and that would be very bad news for Alexandre Bonneau.
Let's see, Alexandre Bonneau of France doesn't draw another land. Upkeep though. Draw a Simian Spirit Guide.
Yeah, it seems like Alexandre Bonneau did draw a Simian Spirit Guide. I think I would have waited till Fabrizio used one of his Karn ability on a land, and then in response, because now you give Fabrizio the opportunity to shoot one of the creatures that is coming back into play.
Yeah. So, yeah, Alexandre Bonneau does have the Simian Spirit Guide.
Maybe he goes for Beast Within on the Karn.
Simian Spirit Guide and Beast Within on Karn, yeah. It's also a very valid play. Oh, Fabrizio still has the Eye of Ugin in his hand, so he will be able to play that now. These cards get permanently exiled, I believe.
Fabrizio gets a 3/3, but next turn, Alexander, if he draws a land, he can go for a Cascade spell into Living End, and then he gets rid of the beast and gets into play some creatures.
We'll see if that will be enough, though. Yeah, here's the 3/3. Draws a card, Oblivion Stone, so Fabrizio can just clear the board again if he needs to. Attacks for 6 with the Wormcoil engine. Drops Alexandre down to 7. Himself up to 26. We already have an update. Herman Runarsson on in fact is already up a game on Nazar Sotiriadi.
That's how quick it goes when you're playing Infant.
Yeah.
Turn 2, kill possible.
Oh yeah. I hope it's a turn to kill. Turn 1 Listener.
In the finals?
Might of Old Croza. Mutagenic Growth.
In the finals, please.
For the win.
For the win.
So what can Alexandre do here? He has to face up against the 6-6 3-3. Did draw a Verdant Catacomb, so he will be able to fire off one of the Cascade spells to get Living End casted. But here comes Ulamog. It costs 11. It's an 11-11. But I don't think Fabrizio wants to play it now. He'll just wait.
Yeah, he's definitely first attacking there with the Wormcoil engine. And then Alexandre has no choice but to fire off the Violent Outburst, and after that Fabrizio can just play his Ulamog.
So, taps. Draws another card. Alexandre Bonneau here. He can cascade in the Living End, which he has to do now. Sacrifice the Catacombs to go to 6. Nice and steady. Finds a basic swamp. And it just means that Violent Outburst happens. So at this point, Violent Outburst will have a cascade trigger, and Alexandre will be able to play Living End from his library, so that creatures from his graveyard get into play, but it actually might not be enough, just because Fabrizio will still have 2 3/3 tokens, and Alexandre doesn't actually have any good action in his graveyard to actually follow it up, especially when he knows that there's an Ulamog coming up, which is going to destroy one of the creatures and then threaten a big Annihilator trigger. And there's the 2 golems. Street Wraith.
Only 3 creatures from Alexandre Bonneau. This is looking very bad for him game 1.
Yeah. Fabrizio Anteri might actually just play the Ulamog and decide to kill one of the lands from Alexandre Bonneau. He doesn't need to kill any of the creatures, really. You can also play Karn as an Oblivion Stone. Okay. Yeah, so here's the Ulamog, kills the Stomping Ground as we had predicted.
Doesn't even bother killing one of the creatures. The card is going to suicide in a pretty big Ulamog there.
He's going to go on a suicide mission. Yeah, Alexandre sees the writing on the wall, scoops them up. So Fabrizio Anteri up a game in Alexandre Bonneau.
Newsflash for you guys out there. Turn 3 card, pretty good.
Yeah, on the play as well. Sometimes you can handle the card on the draw. On the play, it's very rough. Yeah, a good draw from Fabrizio Anteri, and takes game 1 there.
Gets to sideboard 4 Ingoture against all the artifacts, so that's something. It's a start. It might help against Expedition Map, might help against Oblivion Stone. It's possible to evoke for 1 red and just get another creature in graveyard.
Okay, we're going to go to the other Living End player in the top 8, Rasmus Björklund. He's playing against Daniel Fior, also Venezuelan player. And he's sideboarding here. Spell Skites? Is he putting them in?
Nah, he's sideboarding these out. The cards he's laying down are the ones he doesn't like.
Yeah, sideboarding against Living End is very hard, because of course you have those removal spells for the graveyard. And other than that, you just have to try to stay as consistent as possible.
Yeah, just it's still a combo deck, a deck like Living End. They just need to finish the game as quick as possible. The problem is if you rely on your creatures to finish the game as quick as possible, you might run into a very big Living End.
Yeah, here is very macabre. Make sure that he knows what he does. Very important. It's a very tricky ability because you have to discard it. There's not many cards like Fabrizio Anteri where you have such an effect. Actually, Grafdigger's Cage in Daniel Fior sideboard, it doesn't do anything against Living in the card itself.
No?
No. I found this out at a local tournament because the cards actually, they don't enter. The cards don't enter the battlefield from the graveyard. They get put aside and then they get put on the battlefield. Oh. Grafdigger's Cage says that the cards can enter the battlefield from the graveyard. They aren't put into play from the graveyard directly. So
that's very unfortunate for Daniel Fior.
Yeah, it's a good card against Birthing Pod and some other graveyard-based decks, but still.
There we have the signature card for the deck from Rasmus Björklund, Living End. As we said, it costs 0 mana. You has to spend 4, but they just use it to cascade into it, as it's the only card in their deck that costs 3 or that costs less than 3, and it's just so consistent. They play a bunch of cheap cyclers in the form of creatures, and then they put them all back into play. And when you combine that with a Fulminator Mage and Avalanche Riders, which is the land destruction team, it's just a very powerful deck, and a deck that wasn't as expected, but it seemed like it was still good.
Yeah, so for those of you just tuning in, we're in GP Antwerp top 8. We already have four matchups. And this is one of them where Rasmus Björklund on Living and is up a game on his affinity opponent, Daniel Fior. All the players in the top 8 have already qualified for Pro Tour Valencia, which must be happy for them. And none of them have made their mark on the Grand Prix or Pro Tour circuit yet, so a win for either of these players could mean that they can carry the good form over to the Pro Tour, maybe get a good result there, and then maybe by the end of the year we'll have a new pro player. It can always happen.
Yeah, Daniel Fior getting a nice call by his friends there to cheer on him, but as you're playing Magic, especially on stream, on the camera, it's a very bad idea to start calling your friends.
Yeah. So here's your bracket, and I'll have the first run-up of results. We have Fabrizio Anteri and Alexandre Bonneau. We've already seen that one. Fabrizio Anteri up a game on Alexandre Bonneau. Herman Runarsson is up a game. Oh, it was actually one game apiece against Nazar Sotiriadi, so that might be over very fast. Then we have Patrick Dickman up a game on Thomas Hendricks,
as I predicted.
In this premier match. And then Rasmus Björklund up a game on Daniel Fior. We're going to show you this, the next game. Right now, players are shuffling, maybe mulliganing. No, just shuffling. There we go. Yep. Rasmus Björklund still wants to make a shuffle. And the last round he played, he knew that a draw was enough to put him into the top 8. So he wanted to draw, but his opponent Tilriffe didn't want to. Actually, Rasmus Björklund had a turn 2 Violent Outburst because he had a 1 cycler in Dutch Minotaur Carabid into a Street Race cycle. He could play through Simian Spirit Guide, he could play a Violent Outburst on turn 2, killing 2 of the creatures of his opponent and getting on the board immediately. So getting a very fast win there over Tilriffe, and then he offered him the draw because he was hungry. So that happened, that they took the draw. Tilriffe finished 9th, Rasmus Björklund finished 7th. So, but Rasmus Björklund now faces off against number 2 seed Daniel Fior for the right to enter the semi-finals here. With Rasmus up a game, who's your favorite now?
Yeah, I think this matchup favors Living End a little bit. The affinity deck, as I said, needs creatures on the board to finish, or lands, a lot of lands and a lot of artifacts together with cranial plating. And now, especially as Rasmus Björklund probably has for Ingoture, things aren't getting better, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Ingoture is a very good card. It's mainly used against birthing pod decks, or mainly against this kind of deck, but very good also against birthing pod decks. Other decks which also use artifacts could also be useful against Red Green Tron, just to catch an Expedition map unawares, or a Vertical Engine, or an Oblivion Ring.
One thing that is good for Daniel is if he ever gets Argwant Ravager in play, he is safe from a living end. Well, he's not safe. He can sacrifice all of his creatures. Unfortunately, most of these creatures will be Memnites and Ornithopters, but it's a start, and at least he gets back all of his guys.
Let's see. So both players starting at 7. Daniel Fior will be on the play again. Already draws this one basic land. Another Mox Opal Springleaf, double Springleaf Drum. Yeah.
A Steel Overseer.
Steel Overseer, not much pressure though. He can play. Yeah, he can't even play. He can go World Scourge turn 1. Mox Opal. Yeah, he can't really play two artifacts, like 3 artifacts on turn 1. It seems. He's keeping it though. We also have the deck list. So here's the turn 1 Springleaf Drum. Daniel Fior does have the 2 Gravitygrist cages, which are quite useless in this matchup. He also has Thoughtseize. It could be useful, but we see Rasmus Björk not only has 3 Ingotures, he also has 3 Anger of the Gods. Yeah. That he used to kill, not only kill, exile.
Yeah, very important in this matchup.
Also has, additionally, he also has 2 Crozen Grips, so he came really prepared for this matchup.
But Crozen Grip is one of the slower, but you cannot play Naturalize because then you will cascade into Naturalize or something. So you have to play 3 mana cost. So it's the slowest, well, the fastest one you can play in a deck like Living End.
So a cycling of the Detra Minotaur from Rasmus Björklund. Has a turn 2 Blackleaf Cliffs. Has a Bound Outburst in his hand, it seems. I think it's Green Source. Also has Valley Ranid, Jungle Weaver. He actually play a very fast Living End here. Daniel Fior. What can he add to the board? He does have another Springleaf Drum in his hand.
This matchup seems very bad for Daniel Fior, honestly. His draw was fine, but it's nowhere gonna match Rasmus Björklund's draw, as it seems. He really needs these Thoughtseizes. He does have 4 of them, but if he doesn't get there, it's very hard for him.
Rasmus Björklund would just eat these up with a Living End there. Both Scourge gets in for 1. 1 counter on all the creatures. This is a decent start for Daniel Fior in a lot of matchups, because he already gets to put a lot of counters on his creatures and get a sizable board. And also gaining some life back with the World Scourges. Rasmus Björklund can just destroy everything and bring back Cycles of Jungle Weaver. Draws a card. Has also Simian Spirit Guide if he didn't have a land, which he does. He did draw a forest there, but also had a Stomping Ground, so doesn't have to play the Stomping Ground untapped. Plays the forest. And he might just Violent Outburst here. Can wait until the upkeep if he wants to. Pass the turn. Daniel Fior, nice board. We know it's going to be decimated very soon. Yeah, all creatures attacks in the past, +1/+1. Steel Overseer. Yeah, Rasmus Björklund is just waiting for everything to get used. Yeah, he's playing very deliberately. I want you to do everything before I play my Violent Outburst. He had Daniel Fior going through the motions there. And now Violent Outburst. Reveals 2 outbursts. Yeah. Reveals the Anger of the Gods important, but he's just looking for a Living End here. Only spell there, there's the first land. Yeah, there's the Living End. So that means that all the creatures in play on both sides, well, Rasmus doesn't have any, but Daniel Fior has plenty of creatures. All of them get put into Daniel Fior's graveyard. Daniel Fior, shoots his own Steel Overseer in response just to get it back.
Talking about desperate plays there.
Yeah, it is indeed a desperate play. So the 3 creatures now get put into the graveyard. Also,
Just
very macabre exiles the Seal Overseer, because Rasmus will get the macabre back into play, but it actually doesn't help him. I don't think the Minotaur is a May ability. It isn't, so the Minotaur kills his own macabre, but he still has a 3/4 and a 5/6 already in play. Attacking for 8 there. Rasmus Björklund still with a full grip. His Daniel Fior is basically out of cards. Hard cast him in Spirit Guide. He needs his clock. He will be able to attack for 10 here. Daniel Fior, actually no cards in hand. There's the handshake. So Rasmus Björklund with living in takes the game in the match in a very convincing fashion.
Yeah, what a match, and perfect draw from Rasmus Björklund.
So we see a perfect. Yeah, Anteri has had a turn 3 card, it seemed. But there's Damping Matrix in play. It disables artifacts, so I'm actually not exactly sure what is happening here. There's some exiled cards. Yeah, now Fabrizio Anteri is looking through the cards that I guess, no.
These are the cards that got revealed through Violent Outburst.
That's a lot of cards though. Interesting. Right, so, but Fabrizio Anteri does have the full Tron there. Let's see what is going on here.
Yeah, I think Fabrizio is just checking how many land destruction spells his opponent got left in his deck, in his hand. It might have some extra in his hand, and that's, I'm guessing, what's happening.
Yeah, so an update from table 1. Nazar Soteriadi already defeated Herman Runarsson, so in effect eliminated. John advances to the semis, where he will face off against the winner of this match. Let's see what's going to happen here. There's a Street Raider and Detron Minotaur. All right, so one card already died, and the second one. What is going on here? Was that in response?
No, the first card actually destroyed 2 permanents.
Okay.
And then he just played a second one and destroying yet another permanent. That seems what happened here.
Yeah. Yeah. But Dryder for Alexandre Bonneau has some pressure. Does Fabrizio Anteri have? Oh wow, he has all this dust. So. Yeah, he's wondering if it is green or if it is colorless, if it dies to all its dust or not. Remember, Damping Matrix says that activated abilities of artifacts and creatures can't be used, so all the expedition maps, all the chromatic stars, they can't be used, I think.
Yeah, that seems to be correct.
Here's the all its dust. Fabrizio actually has a 3rd card in his hand, so. Yeah, so the Dried Arbor is green as well.
Yeah, Fabrizio Anteri is having very good draws. He didn't even play a single search. He just had natural Tron, Karn, all his dust your board, another Karn. Now that's how you win a GP, if you ask me.
Yeah. And who's the land destruction now? Says Fabrizio Anteri. The Living End decks are known to be full of land destruction and Fulminated Mage, Avalanche Riders, and Beast Within. But on this, with a natural Tron and Karn destroying land after land, what can you do if you're on Alexandre Bonneau's side?
Just try to get again to 3 mana and try to Living End again. Now he's very desperate, removing that Simian Spirit Guide, cycling the Twisted Abomination there. Checking if he does have another red-black source, it seems, but there's already a Blood Crypt gone. So he will have to go for something else there.
Yeah, he can only find a swamp, so...
Yeah, Stomping Ground, not an option.
Can't take the Stomping Ground. Does he have a basic swamp? Yeah, he still has an Overgrown Tomb. It's fine. But we know Fabrizio Anteri has another card in his hand, and he will go after the Overgrown Tomb. The Damping Matrix doesn't stop Karn, because it's a Planeswalker, it's not an artifact or a creature, so... Let's see what Alexandre Bonneau can muster up here. just past the turn. Another Ursus Tower. Yeah, there's Karn. Destroy your land. You see Alexandre was like, ugh, again? He knows the writing's on the wall. Cycles the Monstrous Carabid, trying to naturally draw into lands. A Beast Within. Well, dumping the Ingot Chewer, but he needs 2 more lands to be able to destroy the Karn.
This draw is
also
insane.
Ancient Stirrings. Not much to choose from there though. There is an Oblivion Stone which can't be activated yet.
It can be activated with Damping Matrix anyway.
Yeah, he can. Well, he can exile with Karn and then he can start doing fancy stuff with Oblivion Stone, but it doesn't sound like that good of a plan. And Fabrizio Anteri is now banking all hopes on that Karn. Blackleaf Cliffs from Alexandre, so if he gets 1 more land, he can actually destroy the Karn with Beast Within. Let's see if it happens. Chromatic Star and Oblivion Stone in Fabrizio Anteri's hand. He does have the Karn though, so notches up to 7 counters. Exiles living in, obviously. Alexandre Bonneau land? No line outburst.
That's very unfortunate there. Now Fabrizio will destroy another land. The Blackleaf Cliffs is getting destroyed. That was his window to get back into this game, but now
not anymore.
It's going to be very, very difficult for Alexandre.
Yeah, another Urza lands for Fabrizio Anteri. Oh, there's the Simian Spirit Guide. He needed the turn before. He could have Beast Within the Karn.
Yeah, and Fabrizio plays it very well, destroying the 1 land, knowing that another land and a Simian Spirit Guide would be enough.
He's not taking any chances.
So now Alexandre Bonneau needs to draw a land and another Simian Spirit Guide, and then he destroyed the Karn in 1 turn.
But now problem is Fabrizio will start eating cards from Alexandre Bonneau, so even if he, no. I think at this point it's already over, but Alexandre Bonneau is going through the motions. Karn ticking up. Fabrizio just needs a win condition.
Fabrizio can destroy the Damping Matrix, search out Eye of Ugin with Expedition Map, and then he can win the turn after.
Oh, there's a Verdant Catacombs. That's actually the land he needed previously. It can't be destroyed by Karn. In response, he can search a different land. Karn gets, now gets -2 to destroy the Damping Matrix. And Fabrizio has a ton of lands already, so he plays 2, searches for Eye of Ugin.
A Tron of lands?
A Tron of lands? Ooh, Pun Master.
Yeah, LSV will be proud.
Yeah, you might already be watching. So here comes Eye of Ugin. Can he? Yeah, he probably doesn't have enough. He does with plenty of lands. He can search up for something immediately. Yeah, 7 mana. Probably will go for a Wormcoil Engine. Or maybe Emrakul. Maybe Ulamog. Goes for the Ulamog, which he will get. Oh, he actually has enough mana. Yeah, he has all the 3 different Tron lands, which is 7. 2 Grove of the Burnvilles is 9. And the Eye of Ugin makes it 2 cheaper, so he can actually cast it for 9 mana. But Alexandre Bonneau is like, what can I do here? He could top deck another Summon Guide.
Yeah, if he is able to Violent Outburst, then he gets everything back. So there is still a way out.
Yeah,
if he draws a land, he still has a Simian Spirit Guide in hand. So if he draws a net land, this might be the 1 turn he gets to draw for the win once again.
Oh,
well, for the
relatively for the win.
Well, yeah, but Fabrizio did get rid of the Damping Matrix, so Oblivion Stone and all the others are active once again.
Yeah. No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
he slumped in his chair a little bit, so no land, no Spirit Guide it seems. So yeah, the 1 turn shot. Yeah, you probably just cycle Monstrous Carabid, delaying the inevitable to get some camera time. Stay in the feature match area for right on top of Verdant Catacombs. So unlucky there.
By drawing land, he does have 1 more out yet again. Oh no, he doesn't.
Yeah, now he has to sacrifice 1.
But he has to sacrifice.
He has to just now draw the.
Well, if he draws a second Simian Spirit Guide, there is a way out. So
Is that
yeah, that's a stone rain from Porto.
is that legal?
It's legal.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez. I didn't even know. Because everyone keeps playing Molten Rain. So yeah, a Wormcoil engine for Fabrizio Anteri wraps this up. Alexandre Bonneau extends the hand, and Fabrizio Anteri of Venezuela moves on to the semi-finals. Great effort from him.
So one living end eliminated. The second one did pass to the semifinals.
Yeah.
At least we're not getting to see a finals Splinter Twin. Splinter Twin living ends.
Right, so this is Patrick Dickmann against Thomas Hendricks. It's a Splinter Twin mirror match, so it is taking a while. Patrick Dickmann actually leads Thomas Hendricks 1-0. Patrick Dickmann can't believe what he has in his own hands.
If he would have had a bell, he would have certainly ringed it. Seems like he was very excited about his hand.
Oh, lightning bolt. Does look like that was a lightning bolt on the Grim Lavamancer. Thomas Hendricks has the win in his hand, has the win in the hand, but no fourth land. So, and Patrick Dickmann has much more lands. Another Splinter Twin, what Thomas Hendricks wanted to see. Also, negate lightning bolt is a charm in his hand. This matchup is very interesting because they both threaten the kill if either one taps out.
And what's also interesting is that he can use, your opponent can use his own Deceiver Exarch to tap down your Deceiver Exarch in response to the Splinter Twin. So if you tap to go for it and he taps it, and then he can go for it himself.
Yep. So there's looks like a Vendillion click from Patrick Dickmann. Remember, he's following in his brother's footsteps. His brother managed to get second place last year in the Grand Prix Bochum in standard, losing out to Martin Juza. And Patrick Dickmann actually puts a Kiki Jiki on the bottom of his library.
His hand must be full of goodies. If he gets away a Kiki Jiki, then his hand is definitely very good.
So now is a charm on the Vendillion click. Thomas Hendricks doesn't wait a moment. I'm surprised he didn't go for lightning bolts to keep up as a charm. He is lacking a land there.
Maybe his plan is to get in as much damage. Patrick is at 14. Deceiver Exarch picking away from one. Kind of slow clock, but with another Deceiver Exarch, that's 2. So.
Yep. Let's see what Patrick can come up with here. Patrick has the land advantage. It's very good to have. Of course, it's not. If you have no business, then it's not much better. Yeah, Patrick does have a Desert Lighthouse, which you can use to filter through some cards at instant speed, which is very important in this matchup.
Yeah,
it has a Cryptic Command as well. Now it just adds a Grim Lavamancer to the board.
Having more lands is just so important in this matchup. And the games will go long. It's turn 4 Splinter Twin is not going to win you the game very often. So having a lot of lands to play around, to maybe play 2 Deceiver Exarch, for example, end of turn, or a Deceiver Exarch and a Cryptic Command, it's just very important to have as many lands as you can.
Yeah, the player with more mana can definitely develop his board better, can play several spells a turn, and then the likeliness of playing a Splinter Twin with protection is much more likely. Let's see. So it looks like Patrick went to use the Desert Lighthouse, and in response, Thomas played Lightning Bolt on the Lavamancer. This spell Patrick Dickmann values his Grim Lavamancer quite a lot.
Well, the Grim Lavamancer, when you combine it with a card like a Deceiver Exarch or Pestermite, it can kill a 4 toughness creature. Just activate it, untap your own Grim Lavamancer, activate it again, and that way you get rid of a Deceiver Exarch, for example.
So Desolate Lighthouse, he discards an island. If Patrick Dickmann has a Kijiki in his hand, he can win on the spot. Well, and one of the other combo pieces, of course. Okay, just a Dismember. Main phase, doesn't want to risk it. This is a very tense match. Thomas Hendricks with plenty of red cards in his hand, but 2 of them, those are Splinter Twins. Patrick Dickmann with a Cryptic Command in his hand, another land, and 1 more card in the back. Probably is. Was it Splinter Twin? I think it was.
Might be an Ancient Grudge, which he brought.
Oh, it is an Ancient Grudge, yeah.
Which he brought in against Spellskite.
Ah, good eye. Thomas Hendricks finally draws his 4th land, so he'll probably get around to play another Deceiver Exarch here. But yeah, Patrick Dickmann will want to cycle through his deck a little bit more.
Desolate Loot House doing very good work.
Desolate a Loot House?
Yeah, that's how I call it.
It is called Lighthouse, but it can help you loot through your deck. Another Dispel. Patrick Dickmann seems to have a lot of answers to threats, but no board position of his own.
I know that is how the way he sideboards. He sideboards out most of his combo pieces because he knows it's very hard to just assemble the combo in the mirror match.
Oh, so here's a Pestermite from Thomas Hendricks. He will be looking at starting the beat down. No Cryptic Command on that. Patrick trying to draw himself out of it. You know, this can turn very quickly. Just Patrick could draw Exarch off of the Cryptic Command, play it at the end of the turn, untap into Splinter Twin, win. No, he just draws another Cryptic Command. Quite decent as well. Kiki-Jiki now for Thomas Hendricks. He might get to the beatdown plan. Yeah, so Deceiver Exarch. He's thinking about it. Nope, decides against it. So
problem is if he goes Deceiver Exarch and Patrick Dickmann goes Deceiver Exarch of his own, untap one of his lands, Kiki-Jiki, he has the instant win.
Yep.
Thomas does have the Lightning Ball, but a Dispel on top of that would secure the win. So
yep.
Thomas Hendricks just seems to be waiting.
Yeah, he will go for the Exarch though. He doesn't want it to get countered. He doesn't mind his Splinter Twin getting countered because he has spares. But already with 1 Pestermite and 1 Exarch dead, he wants this one on the board. With 4 toughness, it's hard to get rid of. And now Patrick Dickmann with a Cryptic Command and a Dispel in his hand. Snapcaster Mage, that's a good card.
Yeah,
he's really playing counter control here.
That's his plan for the mirror match after sideboard. He just goes completely control, sideboards out most of his Pestermite, because Pestermite, anyway, it will die to Lightning Bolt. It does die to Grim Lavamancer. It's very hard. He might have kept some of it, like you need to kill in some way or another, but
yeah.
with the Desolate Loot House he got there now, he can just play very control-ish.
And that he does, and he uses it to full advantage. He has tons of lands. Now twice as much as his opponent, Thomas Hendricks. A Snapcaster Mage, Cryptic Command, and Dispel in his hand. Thomas Hendricks can't really go for the combo at this point. He could try, but yeah, just a small attack for 1. Patrick Dickmann already on 9. We'll go down to 8, it looks like. Patrick really took some damage from this member. Earlier beatdown, fetch lands, dual lands. Thomas Hendricks maybe will look to grind out Patrick Dickmann. Okay, so there's a Snapcaster Mage being played. Has a look.
Dismember, Dispel.
Well, probably going for maybe a block and Lightning Bolt?
Maybe Peek.
Maybe Peek.
Problem is if he targets Lightning Bolt with Snapcaster Mage, Then if he blocks, Thomas can just...
Oh, goes for the dismember.
Well, he does go down to 5.
Wow.
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous considering there's
a lot
lightning
of
bolts,
lightning bolts.
Snapcaster Mages, also in Thomas Hendricks' list. So Patrick Dickmann riding dangerous here. Doesn't loot, keeps up the Cryptic Command mana. And starts swinging with his Snapcaster Mage. Very tense match. Remember, Patrick Dickmann is up a game. So here comes Pestermite. Patrick has to counter that.
Yeah, as he is at 3 life, or maybe he drew the lightning bolt. So.
Oh no! Just taps the Leslie Lighthouse, so that resolved. Oh, he did draw a lightning bolt, so finds a way around. Thomas Hendrick is slowly running out of combo pieces. Wait, 2 Exars and 2 Pestermites in his graveyard. The next Pestermite will probably need a Cryptic Command.
Goes down to 4 life. Patrick Dickmann has got some guts.
Yeah, he definitely does. Let's see what he does here. Down to 4. So effectively at 1, but the Lightning Ball, of course, can get countered. It's another Pestermite from Thomas Hendricks. He might just start throwing lightning bolts at Patrick Dickmann's face until they stick. Thomas Hendrick only on 4 land. Kiki Jiki. You can get in for a cheeky 2 damage with Kiki Jiki. Serum Visions from Patrick there. He's digging. It almost looks like he doesn't want to win with the combo. Keeps 1 card on top. Another Serum Visions. Resolves. Patrick draws the card he wanted.
Oh, another Snapcaster Mage and a Pestermite on top for Patrick.
So he didn't board out all his Pestermites.
But it's a lot of cyber you have to get out. If 4 Splinter to win, 4 Pestermite, 4 Deceiver Exar. So you need a very good cyber if that.
Tectonic Edge from Patrick Dickmann, that's also very good against the Master Thomas Hendricks. Patrick muster up something here. Drew goes for the Pestermite. Does it resolve, Patrick? Cryptic commands that. Also still has the Dispel in his hand, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep, Patrick Dickmann still has the Dispel. Should he need it, but he might need it here. Lightning Bolt, double Splinter Twin, Lightning Bolt, and Kiki Jiki. So not the best hand anymore for Thomas. He has fired off quite some beats, and if he starts drawing lands now, it's not looking very good.
And Patrick also will go for the Tectonic Edge on the Sulphur Falls. And I think Thomas just has the Lightning Bolt here. Put some mana in his pool. Lightning Bolt you. Dispel. Patrick is actually, he had it the whole time, but the way he has positioned himself into going low to basically force Thomas to go down to, to resort to these options, to Lightning Bolt. So Patrick's playing this very patiently, cautiously, but he knows what he's doing. Now if he has another Snapcaster Mage, he can, he has a Pesterman and Snapcaster Mage, so he can slowly start chipping away the Thomas Hendricks, still with counter mana up. And the combo off almost any time now, if he can draw the Twin or the Kiki Jiki. And Thomas sacrifices Mr. Rainforest. So even if Thomas draws another red source to play Kiki-Jiki in attack, Patrick can Snapcaster, Cryptic Command.
Yeah, Patrick's plan's been working very well. He was a little bit fortunate that Thomas stumbled on lands in the beginning, and he's been drawing decent threats, Pester my Deceiver Exile, and did get Patrick down to 4 life, but now Patrick, with that many lands, still the Snapcaster in hand and the Pestermite, is going to be very, very dangerous soon for Thomas.
Grimlavemancer. That's a good card. One that Patrick is probably not that scared of, considering he does still have the Snapcaster Mage in his hand, the Lightning Bolt in his graveyard, as well as a Cryptic Command.
Yeah, he has the option here, Snapcaster Mage for... Oh, he's going to Desolate Lighthouse first to see what he gets.
Yeah,
remand.
It's a remand.
Not bad.
Really doesn't want to combo off, so discards a Pestermite. There's a Relic of Progenitus, okay. He knew his opponent was bringing in Realm Lavamancer, so maybe that's the reason why he put in the Relic, but actually hindering him now because of the Snapcaster Mage. Dickman attacks Thomas down to 10.
Yeah, and Dickman, he waited till his turn here for the Snapcaster Mage. Just playing very conservatively, not doing anything too soon. Just wait, maybe he drew a Lightning Bolt and he could keep the Snapcaster Mage in hand. He's playing very well, Patrick Dickman. He knows what he's doing. He is indeed the Splinter Twin Master. Together with his brother, he must have been practicing all day, all week, all month, maybe for more than a year already, as I've read in the chat. He's been practicing some Splinter Twin combo mirrors.
Yeah, Splinter Twin is actually very popular in Germany. It has been in the modern PDQ season before, as there were always several ones in top 8 there. So now Thomas Hendrick down to 6. Patrick Dickman slowly turning the tide. Still has the remand mana up. There's a Steam Vans for Thomas Hendricks, but if he plays the untap and goes for Kiki-Jiki, then we know he is dead.
And this game also kind of shows why Splinter Twin is not the best card in the mirror.
Yeah.
Thomas Hendricks has been having 2 Splinter Twin all the time, but did never get the opportunity to go for it. And it's just hurting him so much that he has these 2 dead cards in his hand.
Yep, here's the Pestermite. Will tap down a red source, I'm guessing. Or untapping its own, yeah.
Thomas already knows this game is over. He does not have a Lightning Bolt, so he's taking 6 from an attack there. This seems to be the game for Patrick Dickman.
So untaps, draws, now the Steam Vents. Now with a remand in his hand, attacks first.
There we have the handshake.
There we have it. Patrick Dickman defeats Thomas Hendricks 2-0, moves on to the semifinals. Thomas Hendricks got his invite to the Pro Tour, that he can be happy about, but now just shows Patrick Dickman, yeah, I had Splinter to win the whole game and just could never combo off. Your control plan worked better than mine. I
am sure Patrick Dickman took out of his Splinter Twins.
Yeah, I know, it definitely looked that way.
I know that this is the plan he is on. He even brought in Relic of Progenitus just because he wanted to cyber out as many combo pieces as possible.
Hey, welcome back to